Over the past few years, the new gen consoles, especially the PS5, have been incredibly hard to get and scalped to death. We're kind of getting to this point now where these consoles, mainly the PS5, are now at their normal price of $500. That is a fucking meal and a half. Over Christmas, you might have seen a few videos on your feed of TikTok or Instagram Reels of kids just absolutely flipping their shit because of getting one of these new consoles, mainly a PS5. But every time I see someone get one of these, especially the PS5, I just kind of laugh because I would never, ever buy one. They're obviously not worth like the $800 or whatever the fuck that they go for on eBay, and I don't even really think they're worth their MSRP of $500. So think back to 1985, you probably remember it like it was yesterday. The NES or Nintendo Entertainment System comes out and it takes video games from looking like this to looking like this. This was really one of the first home consoles that I would say really revolutionized the way we play games and how they look now. And sure, it's like 2 times the price of a PS5 when adjusted for inflation, but the jump in quality from something like the Intellivision to the NES blew everyone's mind back then. I mean, these games actually looked like arcade games, but in your house. And the cells, well, they show that. I mean, yeah, the thing was a cost of like a mid-range gaming PC in today's money, but you would go from playing Combat on the fucking Atari 2600 to now playing something like Mario and Zelda, and just that was enough to be able to get people to want to buy these things. Then in 1991, the SNES comes out, and it was an even bigger jump than the Atari to the Nintendo. The reason I'm talking about this is because when you look back at these old consoles, when it goes from generation to generation, it would be absolutely game-breaking for the gaming industry. You see what I did there? Not even to mention the PS1, which was just an insane jump in and of itself. I mean, games looked like this 3 years ago, which looks like shit, and I mean, I never even thought for a second that this looked good. And now they look like something like this. I mean, hey, is that a third dimension that I see? Like, come on, think about how insane the new generations of consoles were back then. Literally, and I mean literally, adding a new dimension to your games just a few years after one another. Now let's fast forward to 2019, and the PS4 and Xbox One have been out for a few years, and they look absolutely amazing. I mean, look at how insane this game looks. Everything is so clean, there's so much to do, and I mean, this is just one of the games. You could play Fortnite, Call of Duty, GTA, Minecraft, Roblox. There's like literally everything on here. Man, I can't wait to see how crazy the new generation of games is gonna look. So the next generation comes out in like 2021 or something, I don't fucking know. And these consoles look crazy. Not really the Xbox One, that one just kind of looks like the box that I got my blender in, but the PS5 literally looks like it came off a spaceship. I can't even imagine how the games are gonna What? That's how, are you just like playing it in 4K or what the fuck? And how much is it? $500 to go. Are you fucking serious, dude? That's a steal, is what I'm guessing everybody who got a PS5 said. I don't know, I didn't fucking get one. But really, I can't be the only one who looks at the jump in quality of games from something like the NES to the 64, then compare that to the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X, and like, bruh, I just don't see what person would actually look at their perfectly functioning PS4, see the graphics of a PS5, and then actually want to drop $500 on it. Well, man, it's impossible for them to make the graphics better. You're just asking for too much. If that's true, then why would you even buy one? If the graphics can't get that much better than they already are, and that was like the #1 thing of getting a new console back in the day, then why would you even upgrade? Okay, Kangro, well, there's so many other things that the new generation has to offer. Back in the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, one of the biggest reasons someone would choose to buy one console over the other, I think, was because the exclusives that these consoles had to offer. PS3 had Spyro, Sly Cooper, Crash Bandicoot. I mean, all of these games actually look fun and like something I would unironically want to play one day. And then you had the 360, which had stuff like Halo, Forza, and Gears. These games are so good that I think just seeing the games that these consoles had exclusive would be a good enough reason for somebody to want to pick that one over the other. Now let's look at the exclusive these brands have today. Crash Bandicoot, it's now on every console ever. Spyro hasn't come out in 6 years. They haven't made a Sly Cooper since 2013. Well, I mean, let's look at Xbox, okay? Okay, Halo's unplayable. You can play Gears on a computer now. Okay, at least we have Forza. God, the fucking PlayStation's got Gran Turismo. God. Okay, well, what the fuck? If the graphics look literally like you turn on a different setting that they added that adds like, I don't know, 2% more pixels to the screen, and there's basically no good exclusives except for like, I don't know, Spider-Man and Uncharted to the consoles that would make you feel like you wanted to get them, or else you're missing out, then why is the PS5 sold over 50 million units and the Xbox, it's kind of, I don't really know what's going on. I honestly don't don't know. I have no idea why anyone would be in such a rush to buy such an expensive new console when it's not even that significant of an upgrade. And I'm not trying to be a hater, I genuinely have no idea. Now this point that I'm about to make is a little bit subjective and a little bit different than my other ones. Okay, so maybe you just want to be able to play the new games that come out every year for your system. Developers are starting to make less and less games on the last gen consoles, so at least at the bare minimum, people might just want to buy them to play what's new. And you might be right, man, so let's just take a look at, you know, some of the most played games on the new gen consoles. Okay, so you got Fortnite, Call of Duty, GTA, Roblox. Okay, that one's just a sequel. That barely even counts. So the most played games on these consoles are games that you literally could have played on the last generation of consoles. So why would you buy a PS5 just to be able to play the same games? I don't get it. Okay, man, well, you've just never played on one of them, so you don't understand. That would be a really, really, really good argument if it was true. Recently, one of my friends let me borrow his PS5 so that way I could play Spider-Man 2. Now, you might think that that ruins my entire argument, but I disagree, because that's literally the only reason I have ever wanted to touch one of these consoles ever. And if I really wanted to, I honestly just could have waited a few years for the game to come out on Steam. Anyways, after playing Spider-Man, I've learned a few new things about the console, mainly the PS5. And by new things, I mean just one thing. There's one thing that I think I didn't know about, and that's the haptic feedback on the controller. The standard PS5 controller actually has really good vibration and haptic feedback in it that relates to what's happening in the game really well, and it definitely adds to the experience. Now, with slightly better graphics, nice haptic feedback in a controller, and no exclusives basically fucking at all, a reason to spend $500 on a console? Still no. Well then why? If there's so many reasons as to why these new consoles really don't add that much, and if they really suck as much as you say they do, then why have they sold like 50 million and 1 units? Honestly, I don't know. I think that the biggest reason could be that people just want what's new, and the PS5 has just done a really good job at marketing itself as that, just the new thing to do, and the Xbox is just kind of sitting in the corner. Another thing it could be is the fact that for the longest time, these consoles were scalped to death, making people feel like they really needed to get one. In reality, they really didn't. We saw a very similar thing with the Wii, except that was actually, you know, a worthwhile jump in innovation to get. But apart from that, I really don't know what it could be. I don't think you're a bad guy if you have a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, but come on, you did not get an Xbox. I guess I can understand in some insane world why someone would want to spend $500 on a new gen console. I mean, you can play 4K. Wait, that feature only applies if your monitor supports the 4K. So it's unusable to anybody. Why would you ever buy